Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
Office Bloke Daz.
Together we are the Office Blokes.
We are.
There you go. We reacted to a clip from Conan's podcast, Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend,
Yeah, we
with
did.
Bill Burr. Has it been released yet?
Don't know.
I have a feeling we've not released
I don't
it
think
yet.
it has yet, no.
No, but it was just that combination of Conan and Bill Burr is absolutely amazing, isn't
Really
it?
good together, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although everyone's
Two of
good
our
with
favourites.
yeah, absolutely. But I mean, Conan's good with everyone, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know, he's a great host.
He is. There's just something about him with Bill Burr. That
Yeah,
I think
Goes up a level.
Yeah, I think they bring out the best in each other.
I think so.
Yeah, but this is Bill Burr can't help but laugh when he watches the news. He calls himself a psycho, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Bill Burr. Yeah, we'll get into it then. Bill Burr can't help but laugh when he watches the news. Let's do it.
I want to talk to you about this project, this movie that you're working on, because it's something that you and I have talked about, because we are friends. We have dined together. We've hung out. Our wives have hung out.
Just pictures with big chalices and candelabras. Conan.
We did. I had a suit of armor brought in and put in the corner. You're talking about this movie that you've made is a subject that's near and dear to your heart. It's about being dads, older dads, right?
Old dads, yeah.
Old dads.
There was something that came about by, not getting my shit together and having kids really late in life. Like I'm 54, my kids are 5 and 2. And I didn't realize like how much the world had changed. Like my daughter's in kindergarten now, and I was in kindergarten 50 years ago. So just the whole way that they teach, like everything, literally, I'd be like, "Oh, you're in the jungle gym," and she'd be like, "It's called the structure." And then I'd be like, "Oh my God, I said jungle. Am I, was that borderline racist now? Like, what did I just say?" And you just start freaking out, and just sort of it lives sort of in that world, and then also all of this world now of where, you go back into somebody's Twitter account 8 years. And find a bad tweet, and they're like, "This is who this guy is. This guy's an asshole." And it's like, I always looked at it like, you had to go back 8 years before this guy was an asshole. That's an amazing like Lou Gehrig run of not being an asshole. If you went 7 years, like this guy was totally cool, but in 2014, that one random Wednesday, he was really in a mood.
Yeah.
And it was just weird. Someone who I lean left. I'm not 100% left. It's sort of like, I just thought that whole era was really fascinating to watch people like just trying to just sort of ruin people. Like I understood the beginning of it when they were going after these monstrous people, but then it just became this like these ticky-tack misdemeanors bullshit, and they would just burn them down. It was like a Frankenstein movie. Like they were all coming up the fucking hill. So it sort of, subtly lives in that world too.
Right. And one of the things that I relate to you on is we both come from, like I say, a similar part of the country. I'm a little bit older than you, but I do relate very much. When you talk about being a dad, you often relate it to when you were contrasted with when we were kids. And that's something that hits home with me because, I had kids later in life. Now they're teenagers. But in the early stages, I remember thinking this does not resemble the childhood that I have in any way.
Yeah.
Because, first of all, the fact that so much care and attention is spent on each child was something that was... No, I'm not saying that. I love my parents, but it was a different attitude. There were 6 of us, and I remember very clearly at any given time, if you ask my mother or my father, where's Conan? They'd be like, I don't know, he's...
Yeah.
No one knew exactly where you were.
They just sent you outside. Like, that was a lot of it. They just sort of sent you outside, and you went out, and you just met other kids your age and came up with stuff to do when you were outside, and then eventually you ran into older kids, and then they just beat the shit out of you. And then...
True. I think
good point, isn't it? Yeah.
I know I'm not an older dad, so it's not as relevant, but I don't see my kids' upbringing as being dissimilar to mine. Now they're too young to go out on their own anyway, so I wouldn't have at that age. But even school and how we talked about it being called a structure now and not a jungle gym and stuff like that, everything I see from them resembles what I went through pretty much, school-wise, and it's not gone crazy PC and you can't say this and you can't say that.
Yeah, because it probably changed. You're the first generation that probably changed it all to be shit.
So you think I had it
fault.
PC and the kids are right? Okay,
You started it all.
yeah, it's
Mine
all
was
my
just
fault.
like that. I mean,
Same.
we went out on our estate and that was it. You didn't have mobile phones, nothing like that. You just went out, say, be back for 5 o'clock for your
I had
tea
a
or
choice,
whatever.
in
You
or
just
out.
went.
What
Yeah.
you doing? Are you in or you're out?
Yeah.
You're not going in and out. You're going in. You're either
Yeah,
out
yeah.
or you're in.
Yeah, you
I've
get
had
all
that
the time.
since-
Yeah, it's either go out and stay out for a while or
Yeah.
I
you
wasn't
stayed
allowed a
in.
key until I was about 15, right?
Yeah.
Because they didn't trust me.
Yeah.
So then when I used to go out, even if I had a key, I tried to get my brother stole one from my dad's key ring, and we all got one cut because we knew the guy who cut the keys. So we all had a key.
Yeah.
Anyway, you'd go out and my dad would put the catch on the things. Even when you put the key in, it wouldn't turn.
Yeah.
So you couldn't get back in anyway. Yeah.
I still was part of that generation where you just go out and then you're out all day. Though
Yeah.
my
You
life
come back in
was
for your dinner.
like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it was tea at 6,
Yeah.
and as long as you're in for tea time, it's fine. But I had a key when I was about 12, I think, something like
Yeah, I
that.
don't think we did. But it's just completely different.
Yeah.
It was completely different growing up to when my lads have grown up.
Yeah, I was warned
Completely
not to go to certain areas or certain houses because there was kiddie
Yeah.
fiddlers there. So don't
So
go near
what?
that house. Don't go near him. Don't go up that road.
I grew up in Altrincham, don't forget, so I was warned away quite a few houses. It's like that BBC reporter over there.
Yeah, but it was that was the only warnings we had. Keep
Yeah.
away from these houses and these streets.
Wow.
And what do you do? Fucking go to them houses and start throwing stones
Throwing
at the windows.
stuff at
And
them.
yeah.
This is why.
And then you came up like I did a cartoon for Netflix called F is for Family. One of the first episodes is a scene where the young me and his friend are up in a tree, and these guys start throwing rocks at us and shooting fireworks. And that was based on a true story. There wasn't fireworks, but it was just me and a friend of mine were climbing trees. We're just climbing a tree because that's what you did before there was no internet. That was going online, climbing a tree and risking your life. So we climbed up this tree, and these bigger kids came by, and they saw us up there, and they just started throwing rocks at us until their arms got tired. We were up there, like crying, getting hit in the ankles and in the back. And then you just climb down the tree, and then those guys are assholes.
But I remember that, and I bring this up because the minute that my daughter could drive or my son could drive, my wife would check and she could show me on the phone where they were. And I thought that's just blows my mind. It doesn't
Like J. Edgar Hoover.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right to me that we are that accountable all the time. And sometimes I wonder if I'm just jealous of. There's like a care and attention.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? And I wonder because when I watch your comedy, when I watched you at Red Rocks, and you're talking about anytime you're talking about your child or your dad, how the house was tense or there was anger, people weren't dealing with things appropriately. I think I know what you're talking about. It was an era, and I think I sometimes when I'm seeing my family and my wife's handling everything so beautifully. For some reason, I become enraged.
No, I get that.
Why? Where was it? What do you mean? You're looking him in the eye and talking to them? What is this?
I totally get that. I remember one time being in I forget, grocery stores, something like that, and I saw this kid. He started crying about something, and his mother went over and started hugging him and comforting him. And I just felt this urge to go over and trip this little kid. And then another time, I remember the grocery store, because that's where a lot of moms have like the kids and stuff. And this kid was going like, "Yeah, mom, can I have candy?" And she was just like, "No." And then he started crying, and it made me laugh. I was want to be like, "Yeah, get used to that, kid."
So you enjoy the unhappiness and pain of a child.
I thought I did, but I realized it had nothing to do with the kid. That was just me with all of my bullshit. I was jealous of the kid who was getting hugged, and then I was laughing at the other kid because I related. Like, I remember when a long time ago I saw Sling Blade when it was in the movie theater, and I remember when he zoomed that guy out of the house in the wheelchair. He's like, "Get out of my fucking house!" And he zoomed him out. And the guy was all helpless. I roared with laughter. And I remember I was with these actors that I was working on something, and they looked at me in this horrified way.
Right.
And I couldn't explain it. You had to be a comedian to understand. Like, I think actors and comedians, they process pain differently.
Right.
Where actors, I think, are more like examining it, where comedians, you just pave it over, and it's like, you're just laughing, not because you're happy that happened to someone in a wheelchair, you're just laughing at just how fucking mean it was. I told you about this. That one time my wife was on the plane with me, and we were going somewhere far, so she had like a tablet, and I started watching a movie, and she had fallen asleep, and I was watching a movie, and I was laughing so hard I woke her up, and then she, you know, when you don't know what somebody's laughing at, and you just start laughing, she's like, what are you laughing at? And I was trying to hide it, and she looked, and I was watching Precious. I don't know if
Oh my God!
Don't know what that is.
Oh my
I don't.
God!
it was literally
Oh my God!
some shit. It just gets so mean. It's just so mean. It pushes
you
through
over. Yeah.
into comedy again. The mother said something so fucking mean, and then they just cut to her face, and she was so sad. I'm not gonna lie. I'm being honest. I was wheezing. I was literally like laying in the
I presume it's like a kid being abused or having a shitty upbringing.
Yeah.
I completely get what he's talking about, though.
Yeah.
Like, some things are just so wrong and so mean that they're the funniest things you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Have you seen Hot Fuzz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that little scene where he just runs up and fly kicks the granny in the face. I was in stitches when I saw that.
Like, so you know, it's so wrong and everything.
But that was a comedy, though, wasn't it? That was what it was about.
Yeah.
It was there to make you laugh.
Yeah. But it's just that something that is so bang out of order that it just has to be hysterical, doesn't it?
So
I was laughing so hard. The woman I didn't know on the other side of my wife was laughing, and then my wife started punching me in the shoulder. I just gave her like the tablet. No, that's one of my favorite things.
It'd be great if you were a
my
movie
wife
critic.
has such
It really
a
would
big
be great.
heart, and we're always watching TV, and she's forever getting teared up, and I am laughing my ass off. Like, she used to watch The Biggest Loser, and these fat people would be crying about all the cookies and burgers they were eating. And they were crying like they lost a dog or something. And she would be crying, and I would just be laughing my ass off.
So.
No, most of the world is starving. That's why. Like, I went to like India, and I saw this level of poverty that I just maybe want to adopt every kid over here. And then you just come back to America, and there's these slovenly people. Hey, you just can't stop eating Oreos. And it was just so fucking hilarious.
This won't air. This won't come
And then
out.
what it is because my wife
No one will ever hear this.
My wife gets mad at me for laughing. It makes it like, oh, dude, I have worse ones than that. I got worse ones than that.
Might as well get it out now because
I can't say
safe.
this one to protect people. You guys aren't going to laugh at this one because you're told you're not supposed to.
No, that's not this crowd.
All right, some dude beat the shit out of his girlfriend, right?
Well, you're off to a good start. You know how to get a crowd. You had them. You're like, yeah, I can top that.
How else are you supposed to watch the news? Am I really supposed to be going like, oh, for the whole time? Or you can laugh. I mean, it's a choice.
I have to
Like,
go.
how does it help me?
But how? Okay, I want to hear you pull this out.
So my wife was so sad about it that I had to make a joke because I wasn't mature enough to be sad with her.
Right.
So I was going like, what do you think she said? What do you think that last thing
for
she
God's
said, right?
sake.
You know? Yeah, exactly. So she gets all mad, right? So she got really mad.
Why did she marry you? She's lovely. I've met her. She's wonderful.
So then like a week later, my mother-in-law comes over, right? The fucking story comes on the news. And after the story's over, she goes, I know I shouldn't say this. My wife goes, Mom, don't say it. And she just goes, I wonder what the last thing she said was. And I died laughing. My mother-in-law died laughing, and my wife stood. Yeah, but at the end of the day, neither one of us beat her up. So, like, she can't hear us laugh. I'm not happy that happened.
Well,
I don't understand what the fucking news is. It's just like, hey, here's a bunch of shit you can't fix that happened that was horrible. Do you know at my gym? At my gym, they literally play CNN, and it's just the whole state of California's on fire. School shootings and shit. It's like I'm coming here to get away from this shit. I'm on a fucking elliptical, and I gotta watch people's houses burning down.
Right.
How long are you supposed? You're trying to make this seem like 3 hours on the elliptical? So we should be showing like, I don't know, Dumb and Dumber. I think this is going good, Cone.
I think it's going great.
They're great, them ones too.
Really good. Yeah.
That's the hardest I've ever seen Bill Burr laugh at anything.
I know. It tickled him, that one, didn't
Yeah.
it?
Didn't it?
Yeah.
It's just, I think a lot of comedy is that left turn, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
the unexpected.
Of course it is.
And the most horrific things a lot of the time are the most unexpected things. And that's sometimes why it can be so funny. Just catches you off guard, doesn't
Dark
it?
sense of humour, that's what you need, isn't it?
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
But I think when you're watching them TV shows and then someone's crying and all that, I'm like, my wife's all like, she buys into it and she's going, same sort of thing of what you said. And I'm just like, you don't believe him, do you?
Hey, I know, yeah.
You're not real.
Yeah, secret eaters.
Yeah.
And they have the table. It's similar to what he said with all the food that they eat in a week and
Yeah.
all of their biscuits they've been eating throughout the day, and they cry. I didn't
Yeah.
realise it's so bad. And you're
I
like,
don't-
come
didn't
down with your
realise
sugar,
it.
mate.
Did.
I didn't realise it. Come on, guys.
Anyway, funny
Yeah,
guys.
it's good.
Hope you guys enjoyed that too. Don't forget like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.